What's going on, guys? Vic VP back with another Gamecase Arcades video. On this one today, we are back with another made in China bar top, number 4 of 4. Yes, this is the last one being revived. Taking this 26,000 games Pandora's box that I get from my wholesaler on eBay. Gonna be gutting it, moving it, and putting it into this. A dead unit with literally nothing in it, is going to be revived to play 26,000 games. Let's unbox this and show you exactly what I get, or I got, with 3 of 4 of these. Hello? Yep, it's brand new. It's a brand new inbox. All right, you know the drill. If you're not following me on all the socials, what are you waiting for? Be sure to follow me at, somewhere here, Vic_VP. Click the Linktree link down below. It'll bring you to all the social links and my website as I unbox this with some ASMR. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, follow all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You would find out and see all the fun and exciting things that is happening in the garage. Hopefully my mic wasn't all distorted on that. But yes, what are you waiting for? Go follow. Now, normally I shoot videos after the mod, but I wanted to show you this. I literally just picked this up just now, 10 minutes ago, and I'm gonna unbox it to show you exactly what I see / what I get. I kind of wish the unboxing was a little bit nicer on the mic, but it is what it is. Now, when I do unwrap this, I do try to keep it all intact. I don't want to cut the plastic because I'm going to be putting it right back on, basically. But this, again, is number 3 of, yes, number 3 of these China boat bar tops that were new in box. Just as you can see there, I'm unboxing it. This actually still has the plastic on the glass. Very cool stuff. I'm gonna take you around real quick to show you what exactly is inside this. And then I'm gonna modify it, not on camera. Should take me about an hour or 2. And I'll see you after I'm done modding it. But let me get you in my hands and show you exactly what's going on. All right, so check it out. We got it unboxed. Gonna do a quick kind of flyover and walk through just to show you exactly what I see. So, comes with a key. And again, these are ready for JAMA Pandoras. So as you can see there, you put the Pandora here. JAMA harness is already set. You got the arcade power supply, the coin mech here, which again, I've always given the customer a quarter. These yellow ones that come with it, they are not the same size as a quarter, so you have to change that. Again, power is inside. It looks great. Luckily, it's all there. And again, I have all the connections here. So my new Pandoras, luckily I do have the VGA connector. What I do now is I have to cut this. I take all the ends here, I cut all this one by one, this way I don't mix up anything, especially when you gotta, figure out what's player 1 and player 2. All this gets cut, and then the Pandora box that is here gets mounted to the wall here. So again, little tight confined space because I got to do all the soldering right here. I always add a little loop because luckily this Pandora box has the wire and the length of it. So there you go. That's what it looks like, brand new. And when I come back, it'll be totally modified with 26,000 games. Open up the garage real quick, but just want to show you the actual control panel. Again, clean wiring. I don't do any cuts here. Everything is in the rear, so this stays factory. So pretty clean as always. And then again, every switch has its own wire. So that was actually very interesting to see that. Yeah, there you go. Let's get this modified and put 26,000 games in it. Well, after about 90 minutes, but in reality, this is like the next day, this bar top number 4 of 4 officially converted from the old school JAMA harness over to the family JAMA, running 26,000 games. Let it boot up. I always get that request on camera. Vic, what does it look like when it boots up? That is exactly what it looks like. And we are ready to game. Pump up my volume here. Again, I have this set to coin play, so I can't start a game until I insert that coin. And why not run some Marvel versus Capcom? Beautiful, awesome stuff. Again, the last and final Bartop. What a thing of beauty. Real quick, while this loads up, I want to just give a quick shout out, or I should say, take a look at my new merch. It has officially been released. This right here, hashtag retro gamer jerseys. You'll also see hashtag pinball jerseys. My little take on a actual jersey. It's a t-shirt, but it's a jersey. This isn't the official one for the retro gamers. You'll just look down below. I'll probably put it in like a link, or it's on my website. There's a little merch link. But as you can see, we're ready to game. That is it. Now it's funny, as I was like making this, part of me was like, oh, I could go live and I could actually show people how I go about this. But I just feel like somebody watching me solder is gonna be boring. So I didn't go live on it. Again, with this, the whole front wiring here, I'll take you in closer. I didn't change anything. All the magic is in the rear. Let's just real quick unleash a Shinku Hadouken. No. Oh. No, oh, I went back. What an awful way to display. But yeah, I'll take you around the back and I'll show you exactly what I did. All right, so real quick, we'll take a look again. All the hard work is really done right here. And I'm pretty sure you could see it. Yes, you can. I'll bring you in close or I'll shoot some B-roll. But essentially, everything was good to go. As you saw before, the JAMA harness was right here. So I cut it. I literally cut the ends of it. I think I showed it. No, I did it in a short. Be sure to check out my YouTube shorts. I don't have the JAMA thing now, but basically I cut the entire JAMA. The JAMA harness, the actual like connector that connects, was in my hand and I tossed it. But as you can see, I cut right here. The JAMA harness was cut, and then I bring in the family harness here. So if you know Pandora's, basically, especially the control panels that I get, the player 2 wire length is longer than player 1, which is why you always have to kind of cut the ends off of that. Plus, those are like the very micro spade connectors, and they will not fit regular micro switches, so you have to cut the ends either way. Again, this is reversed. I didn't have to touch anything on the control panel side. I just touched everything here. So again, keeping it in the rear, I basically made player 1 and player 2 the same length. I cut not all at once. I do it one at a time. So it's like, you know, regular JAMA hanging here, and I'll cut one wire and then I'll go there. Now the hard thing is that with this family harness, the colors are not the same as your regular JAMA. So like, for example, like wire, or I should say button 6 on a JAMA is like a pink wire, whereas on here, it's a green wire. So in reality, like this soldered connections here, the wiring colors, they get mixed. But that's okay, because again, everything is hard soldered. This will never have to be touched. I did this in a way where, worst case scenario, if anybody needs a new JAMA, or I should say a new Pandora box, you literally just unplug the JAMA harness right here, this family harness. That's it. And you swap out the entire game board, and everything is just conveniently right here. We have like the VGA wire, we have the power. So this is what would be swapped out. Again, this company has been doing this for quite a while. They originally had like a Pandora box 3 or 4. And the owner said to me, he's like, yeah, Vic, if a Pandora box died, I would just buy a new Pandora and just swap it. It's a quick JAMA connection. This same theory though, again, we have just VGA power. And the main thing about these, especially the control panel Pandora boxes, or any Pandora box really that you get that's family harnessed, they have like these pins here. One pin is for these speakers, and another pin gives power to this LED strip and a power switch. Just like that control panel, I threw it out. This is a little bit, I'm filming this the day after. I threw out everything. So you do have to kind of cut the switch and then just connect it together. But again, everything now is just swappable. So in reality, you got to take out the family harness. You have 2 pins here that come out, the VGA and the power. That is it. So it's 4 cables that would get swapped out. But again, right now, And it's funny. I just recently, again, you got to make sure you're following me. Follow subscribe to YouTube. You'll see the shorts. I am right now on a goal of doing one short a day. If you go back, you'll see I just moved the 2-player 32-inch Game Room Solutions cabinet I made for a business by the name of The Green Room. That cabinet is 4 years old, running a family harness Pandora box. It's a 4-year-old Pandora box. That business has never turned off that cabinet. That cabinet has just been powered on, no joke, for 4 years. And it still works beautifully. It is amazing. That is why, if you ever want to place an order with me, I do tell people if you are a commercial business, you want to do Airbnb, or if you want something to get your feet wet, get the Pandora box. You cannot go wrong with these Pandora boxes. They are great. And I moved that cabinet, that Green Room cabinet, I moved it. They have a new store. So they said, Vic, man, come on down. If you could move the cabinet and such. And I moved it. The guy was like, Vic, you know how to move these machines. I'll just pay you to do it. I was like, okay, I'll be there. While I was there, basically, just usually the switches, the actual buttons, the nut on the bottom comes a little bit loose. And out of the, 18 buttons it had, only 2 buttons were loose. So not too bad. And that's something where, honestly, on your end, it's a very simple fix. It doesn't happen every day. It's like, you probably want to retighten every 6 months, worst case. But yes, this right here is done. This is it. This is the family harness conversion. Now, again, people are going to see this right now. Yes, I did charge a fee. This is the 4th one. I've been getting paid my fee, and it's great. Again, the company was just shocked at the speed I'm able to bang it out, but also very happy to discover, 26,000 games. Because that, unfortunately, that is just the world that we live in, that people are going and they see the game count and they're like, what, 26,000? I don't even remember 10 games. Like, how is it 26? That's the world that we live in. And now, granted, again, Pandora boxes, you're not going to play Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5. You're not going to play any high intense games on these. This is mostly your retro consoles and such. Several duplicates, yes. That's what I tell all my customers. You will see 15 versions of Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition and speed hacks and all that. You could go into the game list and remove those. So that's the plus side of it. I am not doing that. That is a lot of time to do that. So, and you'd be surprised. Some people like the speed hacks. I personally don't like it. Same thing when I do my Launchbox Big Box build. I get the request for, hey, Vic, do you have Super Nintendo hacks? And I'm like, yeah, from a build I did a long time ago, I have like 1,200 Super Nintendo hacks, which I personally removed that from my game list. Now, just to explain the actual work minus like the soldering and the shrink tubing and all that, this right here, the original JAMA, if you know JAMA, it has like a 12 volt, 5 volt, and ground connections. 3 thick wires, not too thick, but I think they're like 18 gauge wires. Whenever you do this with this, it's only really gonna happen with this bar top. This right now does not need any 5 volt connections. There's no 5 volts going to it. So I take out the 5 volt. But the big thing is the 12 volt. 12 volt wire, it's got actually 4 wires going to 1 pin on the JAMA. You obviously have the power supply 12 volt to JAMA, so that's the thick wire. But it also had 3 other wires connected into it, crimped into it. 1 wire goes to the amp, 1 wire goes to the actual coin mech on the side, and the other one, I forgot where exactly it went, but I had to connect in the 12 volt power for the Pandora box. So, 4 wires going out to 1 wire, basically. It's work to make sure it doesn't ever come undone. There's soldering and stuff. But the biggest thing was the grounds. The ground wire had, no joke, like 6 to 8 wires going to it. I'm like, damn. That normally in that situation, again, it's crimped, and really on a JAMA, it's 2 pins for the ground. And they're basically just hard soldered in and stuff. I basically do 2 separate bunches, so 4 wires, and then it goes out to 1 thick wire that goes right to the power supply. So there is work to be done. That's why, sometimes I make these videos and people are like, whoa, Vic, you make it sound so easy. I've been doing this for a long time. It is what it is. Now, this was really funny. This was really cool. And I appreciated the comment on it. Somebody made a comment on the video and they said, Vic, why do you buy the control panels? Like again, like I mentioned before, I have a hookup on eBay. It's an eBay seller, which I think he's really in China, but his warehouse is in California. Because every time I order it, the shipment comes from California. So this person wrote there like, Vic, why do you get the control panel? Isn't it going to cost you less money if you just get a Pandora box alone? And I've already done the research on it. You'd be surprised. No, it's much more expensive if I buy the Pandora box. If I buy just the Pandora box alone, if I buy the power supply alone, and if I buy the family harness alone, that's 3 things I have to buy. It comes out to more money. It's going to cost me more than if I just get the control panel. Now, the crazy thing with the control panel, I get a couple of extra goodies out of it. Again, I have the actual Pandora box. I get the family harness that's already wired, essentially, because when I do it, and I made a tutorial on this a while back, I lift control panel and I cut at the spades because, again, the spade connections are too small. But I cut a little bit, I leave a little bit of wire so I could see the color of the wire, so that when I'm wiring this, I could look at the control panel and go, okay, player 1, button 1 is a pink wire. I know where that's how I do it. So it's like a little bit of a cheat map. Instead of me reading a paper and remembering color codes, I could see that. Again, the control panel gives me the Pandora box. It gives me the JAMA, the family JAMA harness, already kind of visually, labeled and wired. It is also giving me the power supply included, and it also gives me VGA wires and HDMI cables. So I'm getting a little bit more than if I did that alone. So again, I appreciate the comment, but I did all the research already on that. Not to mention these, again, the Pandora boxes that I'm buying, these are not the official 3A Pandora boxes. They're not like the real ones. So these are like the bootleg ones. And really, for you to get these bootleg ones, which have 26,000 plus games on it, you have to buy it in a control panel either way. So it is what it is. Again, I appreciate the comment, but it's much cheaper and easier, honestly, in my opinion, to just get the control panel. Bringing you back in the front, we can check it out. We'll do a couple of games, why not? Again, with these Pandora boxes, especially that when I get them, I always do a quick favorites list. So the first kind of menu list here is a couple of random games, but heavy hitters. You know what I mean? You got Marvel vs. Capcom. You got Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, Punisher. I always put The Simpsons. Basically, I don't do the same exact games because I'm just doing it very quick. Only because stock, it'll show you like all these King of Fighters. So people are gonna be like, is it only King of Fighters? Like, no, I do that easily. But that's what's cool with the Pandora box. You could make a quick favorites list. This way, once you power it on, you could play it. Now, again, I have this set to coin play. I have that specifically on purpose set so that every 15 seconds, it's gonna skip to the next game. If I leave it on free play, it is not gonna skip the game. So that's why I always set it to coin play. We could play some Punisher, why not? Let that launch up. Now again, what I personally like is, I do like the amp location on this. It's cool, it's nice, it's convenient. Usually my bar tops, it's usually in the rear. It's like not a mission to get to it, but it's just not as convenient as this. I just don't like that the start buttons are not up here. So it's very odd. But again, nice little, again, keep in mind though, it's these China amps. And judging from the other 4 that I had, especially the ones that were like used in the graveyard, I'd say like 2 out of the 4 amps were dead. So, it is what it is when you get these BS amps. Not to mention now, this cutout is specific for this amp here. Whereas, like I mentioned before in another video, the company gave me a replacement amp and it was just a little bit bigger than the hole. Like the power button was rubbing up right against it. Now, again, in this situation here, this company still has to put artwork on it. This is where it's like, it's work. It is work to do it. If I was doing artwork, the T-molding has to come off. And it's like the T-molding is already like stiff, hammered in and stuff. So unless you get it pinpoint exactly how it is, putting the T-molding back is not that difficult or a pain. No. Yeah. But if you do it the right way to put artwork, you got to take the T-molding out and such. So this still needs artwork. The buttons, the joysticks, you would have to remove to apply the artwork and such. The amp, the buttons here, buttons on the side. It is work. So that's where, like I said, I told this company, if you remember the first bar top that he had, it was like Mario themed. I'm gonna exit out so we can play some different game while we do it. Why not? Now, real quick, what's kind of crazy in this, sorry to skip, this Pandora box, if I put 4 quarters in, it is gonna actually deposit the 4 quarters into this one game. The other Pandora boxes I used to have, it used to do just 1. So if you exited, you would still have like 3 credits left. Not this one. This one right here is gonna dump 4 quarters in. So if I exit out, I'm gonna lose my quarters and such. But yes. Now, I mentioned before, the first bar top was like Mario themed. And the company told me like, oh, they sent him that like art file, so he just has to print it. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. It says credits 3, so it put in the 4 credits and stuff. Not that it's a bad thing, but it is what it is. Be careful and cautious when you insert your coins. I said to the company, I said, I'll be honest, man. You know, the owner was like, I want to put, to make life easy, I just want to put 1 piece of artwork. He's like, I'm perfectly fine putting the Mario Bros again. And I was like, that's cool, but like, you know, not everybody wants Mario. Some people want Street Fighter and stuff. So he was like, Vic, I understand what you're saying, but I don't want it where I'm gonna have 4 different art packages for 4 different cabinets, because somebody's gonna see it and they're gonna be like, oh, hey, I saw last week you had Street Fighter, I want that. Now he's gotta reprint the artwork. So I said, I get it. That's also, you know, the point to make is that this company doesn't build cabinets. This was like pre-made. So if you were the type that was building the actual cabinet, doing artwork would not be a hassle. You'd be like, okay, fine. You want Street Fighter? Give me like a couple of days and I'll redo it with Street Fighter. Look at that. Metal Slug is beautiful on this. Again, I play Metal Slug on like Raspberry Pis. And if you don't do the Hertz kind of glitch or the RAM glitch or whatever it was, not glitch, the adjustment where you have to speed up like the CPU power on it, Metal Slug with these explosions, it would just lag out. So pretty cool. Again though, I lost my 4 quarters now. I can't play again. I got to insert a coin. Mentioning before, the coin mech from China, it has like a yellow plastic coin. That coin is not the same size as a quarter. So I do put a quarter in and such. And yeah, this is awesome. This is really great. Like I said, I've been doing this for many years. Even now, can you see it? No, you can't. My next video coming up, you'll be seeing me talk about that $20 arcade 1-up score. I had somebody message me that they're going to possibly purchase that. And, you know, the guy was saying like, hey, Vic, I see your other ads. Why does this have 26,000 games, but other systems have like 15,000? And I'm like, well, a PC-based system is going to cost you more, but there's less duplicates. So we were going back and forth on that. And, you know, just trying to educate people. This has 26,000 games, yes, but several duplicates. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind also this right here, the cost of this versus a PC-based system, we are talking apples and oranges. It's a drastic change. I never played this in Mutant Nation. This, I think, is a Neo Geo game. It was, because it had the screen in the front. Woo, yeah, kicking ass right now. Awesome, beautiful, easy stuff. Again, Pandora box, a dead unit, not dead, it was just not used. It wasn't being used much, and now it works. The only last thing, I have to do it now, and you'll probably notice it on camera, but I'm gonna have to adjust right now. Maybe we'll do it on camera. I have to adjust the monitor horizontal and vertical position. So we'll launch another random game. Why not? Again, you can see here a bunch of Street Fighters. Look, Champion Speed, Champion M2. We'll launch this because I could at least see the screen, full screen, and then we will adjust. Again, not all the time. Well, again, it's these China bar top. Yeah, like I can see the black line here. So again, if I leave the system alone for 3 minutes, it will automatically exit out. We're gonna go in on this. So menu here. I can already tell people like, whoa, Vic, like you didn't adjust it. We'll do it right now. So vertical position, we have to go up a little. Good there. Now we're gonna go up. Nope, not that one. Good. We're gonna go to horizontal. That's the main one. Look at that. That's like, it was like a quarter off. Can't go too far because then that side is out. I am good there. Awesome. See that? Don't flame me in the comments. I hit the power button by accident. You can't even see my head. And of course it didn't save. Even the auto adjust. Oh, now I know. Just press auto adjust and it worked. Awesome. Cool. All right. Now I should have done that next time, but there you go. Testron. I think this is the speed hack on this. Beautiful. Again, if you want to just simply relive classics, you want to be quick, easy to go and stuff. Oh God, I always go, every time I face E-Honda, there's your Hadouken, look at that. I think also some of these is like, yeah, if you press start, you could change the character. That is part of the hacks. Again, some people love these hacks. You'd be surprised. I get like the email requests all the time. But I don't think you need like 20 different versions of Street Fighter. I don't know any moves for Blanca. I know none. There you go. There you go. Love it. And it's a very quick back and forward. Oh, but my Sonic Boom is out. Ah, you can only throw one Sonic Boom. No, hit him, hit him, hit him. Yeah, hit him. Finish him off. Oh, I got it. Awesome. Now, a quick note about the Pandora box. I feel like I say this on all Pandora box videos and stuff, but it's good to see. I can't stress it enough. The Pandora boxes, especially if it's your first multicade or it's, you want to get your feet wet into emulation, I can't stress enough, the Pandora box is your best option. As you can see right now, I unplugged the entire unit. It's time to eat. You'd be surprised, kids just unplug units, even adults. And what's scary is that people do that with PC-based systems where they don't shut down properly. They don't understand that if you do not shut down a PC, you will corrupt files. There's a high chance you'll corrupt files, and now your PC don't work anymore. But as you can see right now, with this Pandora box, I turned it off, I powered it back on, and I am back, and I could play a game. These are great. If you're just getting your feet wet, you don't want to break the bank, get a Pandora box system. The downside of it, again, you do have several duplicates and it won't play every game that you want to play. You cannot add games to this unit. No. Vic, I want to play Time Crisis. Can I buy a Pandora box and then add it? No, you cannot do that. Vic, can this play Street Fighter 6? No. Can this play Grand Theft Auto? No, it does not. It will play your retro games and consoles, not all of them though. This does not have NFL Blitz and such. But the big thing I want to get at basically is the price of this is cheap, especially if you buy it from me, whereas versus a PC-based system, we're talking several thousands of dollars more. Yes, I'm not going to lie to you. It's several $1,000s more versus this Pandora box and this Bartop. And even if you get a two-player from me, getting a two-player by Vic Pandora box versus a PC is only a couple of thousand, whereas like a Bartop versus a two-player or even four-player PC is several thousands. Basically what I want to get at is that like if you want something user-friendly, get this. Just get a Pandora box, get your feet wet. If you're able to navigate a Pandora box, then the next step would be a launch box big box. So if you're the type that just wants to, I wanted to boot up and play right into Pacman, again, like I mentioned before, you could adjust the favorites list and have it set up like that. It's not gonna launch into it, but at least Pacman is right there. Instead of you pressing start and now I got to search with the P and a C and a A, and I can't spell Pac-Man. Like, instead of you doing that, you could at least set it up on a favorites list, and it'll at least show there. Now, also keep in mind with these Pandora boxes, they don't save high scores. I have somebody that messaged me, they wanted a cabinet, they wanted Miss Pac-Man for the wife, but it needed to save high scores. I said, you need a PC-based system. And no, he didn't want an arcade vertical cabinet. He wanted to play Street Fighter as well. So you will need a PC-based system if you want to save high scores and such. So I told him that. I gave him the price, and he's like, this is too pricey. I said, I don't know what to tell you. You could get a Pandora box. If you could live without possibly the arcade version and you're okay with the console version, then Pandora box is fine. But again, you cannot save high scores on a Pandora box. It's great for what it is. Like I said, the other big thing is I always feel bad when, and it hasn't happened to me, but I've heard stories from other people where people spend thousands of dollars on an arcade cabinet, on a multicade, and it only gets played like the first week, and then it just collects dust. And I'm like, damn, you spent a lot of money for, something that's going to give you pleasure for a week. That's a lot of money. I always tell people, get this, play this. If you're playing this at least like twice a week and you're reliving childhood and you're getting into it, then invest into a more sophisticated system. But you'd be surprised even with arcade one-ups. Arcade one-ups, like, not that one that I have in the back, but people that I've bought arcade one-ups that are broken, people go like, oh, we only played it like 4 times and that was it. Like, oh, this is a big unit. We just played 4 times. But yes, that's my little selling point to a Pandora box. I am very happy to say, and kind of proud to say, that I mean, somebody might offer, but I don't see many builders like myself offering Pandora box builds. I don't know why. These are very convenient and easy to do. Not that I'm like ripping you off. These are easy. Like, do it. If you want to do what I do, you want to get your feet wet, do what I did 13 years ago, and I bought a Pandora box. And I had an old school Tekken cabinet that I put a Pandora box in it. Like, do it. Pandora boxes are great. If you want to get your feet wet, Pandora box. I started with a Pandora box. And now look at me with 43 terabytes worth of games on my Bivik Monster Ultimate Arcade cabinet downstairs. Now, real quick, going back to that customer I mentioned, I told them, like, I have Pac-Man, but I have to put a coin in. I have Pac-Man, but it might be the console version. As you can see, that is console. That is not the arcade version. It even has a timer on the top, which you could change if you're doing it for home use. Again, you could change it from coin play to free play. I have it set to coin play and such. Let's see real quick. As you can see there, so regular Pac-Man, there is a Pac-Man J, which usually is Pac-Man Japan for like MAME arcade. Let's see if that, nope, it's the same thing. It is a duplicate. Let's take a look real quick. Miss Pac-Man, let's give that a whirl. So Miss Pac-Man, I mean, I can even see by the preview. Miss Pac-Man USA, got to put a coin in. This is console, okay. There is another one up here, let's see. Let's see this one. The preview on it had like arcade. Ooh, okay, there you go. Miss Pac-Man. Miss Pac-Man, awesome, cool. But again, you don't want to play Pac-Man. You don't want to play a game with a dedicated 4-way using this 8-way joystick, as you could see. You don't want to do it. You do want a dedicated 4-way on that. But at least we do have it. Now, again, you can see there the high score is not going to save. It is what it is. I'm going to actually just die. And maybe we'll see if I relaunch this game. I actually want to die. I shouldn't eat anybody. Let's just, I'm going to kill myself. Yes, I'm going to do that. And awesome. Again, I doubt it. I highly doubt it's going to save it. But again, playing Pac-Man, playing Donkey Kong on an 8-way joystick is awful. Now, this is kind of funny. Somebody made a comment. I was kind of shocked by the comment. They did say that playing arcade games with bat-top joysticks is awful. You should be playing with ball top. As you can see right there, boom. High score did not save. Let me know in the comment section down below. bat versus ball top? I can't play Street Fighter. I can't play Metal Slug with a ball top. I read that comment and I was like, really? People have that opinion? I don't know. I like the bat tops. I don't know. Well, there you guys have it. Number 4 of 4 of these China built bar tops, ready to go, revived, now running 26,000 games. Just needs artwork. That will be on the company's side. They're gonna do the marquee and stuff. Awesome. Very happy to have done and offered this service. And the best part is somebody liked it so much that they said, Vic, you got to do the other 3 for me. So I'll be more than happy to do that. Very awesome stuff. Vic VP, Gamecase Arcades. I'm going to just unplug the unit. Bye.